So I have asked you to make this design. It's not a logo, it is called an emblem, and it's not perfect, but we don't care about that. We just have to replicate this, and that's what you try to do, and I did that as well with a different technique. I told you that I'm going to trace it just to save a lot of time, because if you're going to draw everything manually, it looks like it is something that is going to take some time to finish. So that's what I did. So this is what I came with. This is the picture. This is done in Photoshop. This is the same as this one. I have just took off the colors and left just the black. But when you trace it, you are going to get left with some funky things. They are not perfect, so your manual job is still something that you're going to do. So this is it. I just went and did some things manually. It didn't take me that much time because I don't care if it's perfect or not. These things are small, no one will notice these things. So that's it, and that's how I have done it. But when you did it, this is yours, and when I looked at it previously before I start making this video, I noticed a couple of things I want to mention, and I think that these things are going to make you use Illustrator in a better way. I hope that you are going to find this very helpful. The first thing that caught my attention is that when you look at the outline mode, just Control Y, I'm going to pronounce some shortcuts that you might use. These things are not very clean. If you look at them, you can see them here. These are not perfect. As you go here, a lot of things are going on, and here as well. The things that you have to know about this design is this is going to be machined with a laser cutter, and the laser cutter, the thing about this machine is that it is working with closed paths like this one. For example, when you look at it in the outline mode, it is one continuous line and it is closed. But when you look here, this is just a line. The machine will not know what to do with this line. If you look at it in the normal mode, it has some thickness. It has some thickness to it, but in the outline mode, it's just a line. The machine will not scan this line. It's going to be just a line, and probably it's going to skip it, or if you're going to give it a certain color, the laser will just come and go right over the line and cut through your acrylic, and that's not what you want to do. So you have to just give this an outline stroke. I know you know that. Go to Option, Path, Outline Stroke. This is it, but we're not going to do that now. I want to mention something else here. If you look here, I'm just going to use the direct selection tool. When you click on this box and move it to the side, you're going to find another box. This is not like this one. This is a stroke. This is a fill, and this is a stroke. when I go over it with the mouse, you can see it highlighted. So I'm just going to select it and move it aside. So these are 2 boxes. I'm going to move another box. So 3, another box, 4, this is the last one, it's 5. So as you can see, there are 5 boxes here. So the machine will just go over this one and trace it, this one, this one, this one, and this is going to be absolutely a mess. The thing about moving parts with the direct selection tool and moving others is that they are in the same compound path, and there is absolutely no way or no reason to make 2 separate objects in the same compound path. Just make a group. In a group, when you use the direct selection tool, you're not going to select the other part. You're going to select just that one. When you use the selection tool with the black arrow, when you select, you're going to select the group. But the selection tool, the direct selection, will use the object. When you click, you select the compound path. This is all the same, and this is not the best way to do it. So we are going just to try to fix this all together. So I'll go back not to miss the steps. There are other things I want to mention. I found that this one, 2, I think that there are 2 here. As you can see it, go back, and if you go here, 1, 2, and there is a 3rd one. So this is going to be a project that the machine will try to do and not finish in a time, because the machine will do the same job over and over again, and probably it's going to cut through the acrylic and ruin it. This is not the right way to do it. So I'm just going to use the Pathfinder. The thing about the Pathfinder, which is here in my workspace, if I try to just unite 2 objects, this is a fill, this is an outline, it's never going to do a good job. So I have to outline all these little strokes and make them feel like this one. How I'm going to select all the outlines like this, I'm going to use the magic wand tool. I'm going just to select it. Now all the unpainted or the unfilled paths in your canvas are selected. So now we can go to Object, Path, Outline Stroke. This is it. But if we come close here, this didn't get the stroke, because the outline stroke is working on paths. This is not a path anymore. It's a part of a compound path, and it can't be treated as a path. So the outline stroke is not going to work here. So if you go to your layers panel here, this is selected. I'm going to go to search. You see it's a compound path. If you select it, you see this and this are compound paths. You have to turn these into normal paths. Just watch here. If you go to path, let's say object, path, I don't know where is it? I'm just used to the keyboard shortcuts. I'm going to try to find it here. We are looking for release review, blend, perspective, and compound path. Here, this is it. Compound path, click on release. Now it turned into a group. When you go to the group, you're going to see path. And the path, when you go back to object, path, outline stroke, now it is outlined. When you go to the outline mode, you see there's still another one. So you're going to take your wand and select magic wand and select all the strokes that are still in the scene without an outline. You're going to go object and compound path, release. It's going to release the compound paths. Go object and path, outline stroke, and now you're going to have only strokes in your scene. So if we go here, just watch. 1, 2, 3, 5, and the other outline is gone. So we only have filled object. So we go back. How we are going to make this thing now? If you can watch, when I select this, the others are not selected. How I am going to make these others go? Just do this. Select like this and go to, you guessed it, it's the pathfinder night. And now when you try to move it, it's only one. Here, move it, too many stacked all upon each other, just like that. Give it a go. It's a one object, and you can just do it like this. Select all. If you watch these little things here, the night, everything is gone, and your design is ready to be machined, just like that. If you go to the outline mode, those all imperfections are gone. I'm going to give you another trick. If you select these 2 points, if you press delete, the path would be deleted, but if you select those 2 points with the direct selection tool here and click on remove anchor points, it's going to remove those anchor points. It's going to be a straight line, and that's what you want to do. You can just select all and turn it into a path, give it a 0.4 or 0.5, just to see what's going on, to look for some obvious imperfections to correct, like this one for example. You can just select this point, remove the point, or just remove all the points. The less points you have in your design, the smaller size your file is going to be. Like this one. If you just go, I have a shortcut key I set myself, and it's doing the same job as this one. If you go just Shift Control Alt and K, you're going to go here. This is my preset. I set short keys. This is my name, obviously. This is, if you hover this, remove anchor points. And it's not in tools, it's menu commands, remove, and it's here, remove anchor points. By default it's set to nothing, but I did Alt Control D. I find it very useful. You can go to that panel and make your favorite tools there so you can use them. Just grab this point and this point all together, Control Alt D, they are gone. This is the way how you're going to go fast. And just go back to the fill mode. Just click Shift X. You're going to come here. If you look at this design, you're going to see this is something looking like a clock. So, and there are these small pins here to show the 12 hours. I didn't count, but I know there are going to be 12. So you come here, just L for the circle and Shift to maintain the perspective. So I have a circle here, R for the rotation tool, Alt and try to click in the center here, and this with Alt and click, this box is going to show up. What you're going to do is 360 divided by 12, and you're going to do copy. So what this did is copy this point to this point, while this is the center of this rotation, and you are going to go like Control D again and again and again till you get those points. You see, you can do this relatively fast without working and talking. So let's see. I want to show something here as well. Let's go to the outline mode again. If you look close here, you have a lot of points here, and they are unnecessary. You see them in the outline, more obvious. And with the lasso tool, I'm going to select these. With the right click, go to Simplify. You see a lot of points are gone, but the shape is almost the same. You go through these, like for example here, there's there are a lot of points in there that are just a waste of file size. You're going to save this, just simplify. In my case, you see there are no points anymore, but the shape is the same, almost the same. If I select all these, I have a shortcut key set. It's something I made. I can go and reduce the point. It's not going to affect the general appearance, just the file size. We have to make all these the same. I'm going to click, select all these filled objects and just outline them, so I can select all and flip. This is what you're going to come up with. Another thing I wanted to mention is that working with layers here, most of the time from the file you sent me, I always found just one layer here. I think it's not the right way to work with this because layers are very powerful when you use them. So this whole design is one group. So what you want to do when working with other designs is like ungroup everything and try to make every object in a separate layer, so it's going to be easier for you to edit. Like for this, I'm going just to cut and paste in front, Control F, and I'm going to create a new layer. You know, to move this from this layer to this layer, you are going to just unfold this and use this to look for it, because I just pasted it in front, it's here above, but that's not the same every time. So there is a very good way to moving objects from a layer to another layer, and it's very useful. So this is it. You just have to click this small blue point and take it here. Now it's in this layer. Now if we want to hide it, here, lock it so we can't move it anymore. So this is in a separate layer. We can give it a name, like, I don't know, this is apples, or what is it? I'm just going to name it fruits. This is it. Now it's fruits. This is a clock. I'm just going to select it like that, and it's here. Create a new layer, clock, and just drag and drop here. It's in this layer. Lock it, and you can just hide everything. This is this is a design which you can put on another layer, but I'm going just to, I think you get the idea, and that's my point. You can just stack your layers here and make everything clean. Like for example, you want your texts to be in a separate layer. Sometimes you want them to be editable, so you can change them. This is obviously outlined. You don't have to do a lot of things to it. So I'm just going to create another layer and name it text, and just drag this to it, lock it. You can show it and hide it. I think that's what I have in mind right now. That's all the things I wanted to say. Probably I've forgot things, but I think I've covered most of the things I wanted to say. I hope that you will find a trick or two useful here. Otherwise, just take care of yourself. Bye.